Well, you guys have probably seen already, but the Fed just cut interest rates. So this is a very interesting topic for today, and there's a couple more things that are going to go hand in hand with it too that I want to talk about. But first, let's talk about the Fed cutting these rates and what that's going to mean for us. So obviously, Jerome Powell was pressured heavily by Trump over the last I don't even know how long. Trump has been really hounding him to get the rates down, and he finally caved and did that. So the rates have come down, and that likely means that we're going to have some liquidity into the economy. In other words, markets across the board could rise. There's no guarantee, obviously, with any of this. The Dow did rise just before in anticipation of this, and since then it has continued to rise. As far like I'm basing everything that I'm saying right now is based off of research about 15 minutes ago. So, and it could change dramatically in an instant. So bear with me. But the S&P and the Nasdaq did lower in anticipation of it, but just a little bit. But all of it has been kind of generally climbing this whole year. And this is, I think, 9 months. They said the rates haven't changed for 9 months. It's been a 9-month process. So in my opinion, this is very likely going to have an initial negative effect. And I say negative like it's hard to quantify this because it could be negative as in it bounces up and then drops down and then bounces up. So just expect volatility for sure in the markets. And that means, the regular stock market and the crypto market too. And we're going to talk a little bit about that because this directly affects that as well. But I will say that this is a very interesting time frame because there's one thing that has happened that I don't think has happened yet. And that was about a day and a half previous ish running up to right now, about just over $9 billion worth of stable coins flooded the crypto exchanges in anticipation of this rate dropping. So that's something to be said. And of course, a large chunk of that was Tether. So, which I believe will eventually be the scapegoat coin for our national debt. But that's a belief, not a I guess I should say I'm not giving a lot of like trading opinions or anything on here right now, but I will say real quick that none of what I'm saying is financial advice. So please, just I guess entertainment purposes only, however you want to look at it. All right, so traders are expecting more cuts to happen in October and December. I have seen some traders actually speculating that it'll be what was it? It was a quarter cut. It'll be a half cut or whatever it is. I don't remember the numbers that well. But they are expecting it to be even more in specifically October and December. And this time frame lines up with the potential passage of the Clarity Act. The Clarity Act is a U.S. bill aimed at giving clear legal definitions for digital assets. Right now, crypto is stuck in kind of a gray zone. People don't really know what's what with all the many different cryptos that are out there, and there are thousands of cryptos out there. People don't know if a crypto is a security or a commodity or a risk or whatever it is, but the Clarity Act aims to obviously clarify that. Once it does that, we're going to know for certain which cryptos are which. So we'll know without a shadow of a doubt what cryptos are actual securities and what are commodities. Just a real quick little breakdown. A security is basically an investment into somebody else's project, right? A commodity is a basic asset that you own. That's the difference between those two things. And the Clarity Act is going to clarify the difference between those for different cryptos. So whether or not you're investing in somebody else's company when you buy crypto or you actually own those coins, that's going to be the big thing that we're all going to find out once and for all. I have, my personal beliefs and convictions on what cryptos are actually commodities, and I hold those because I like to own my own currency. I like to own the things that I'm invested in. But we're gonna see for real, So also, in addition to this time frame when we're going to likely have more Fed rate cutting, is going to be the implementation of, or not the implementation of, but the mandatory implementation of ISO 20022, which is a really cool thing. And I'm about to explain that. But first, we're going to hear a quick word from our sponsors.
Investing can be confusing and scary, but it doesn't have to be. Genesis Gold Group takes the guessing out of the game and guides you on your gold investment journey. We at Filibusted love the genius design of the Prepper Bar, which breaks up into sections, kind of like a chocolate bar. But if you prefer high security insured gold storage, they have that too. And unlike Fort Knox, the gold is actually there, 100% owned by you. So don't wait to get started. Visit filibustedgold.com today for a free investment guide from Genesis Gold Group.
Grab it up. Gold is rising again. I think, didn't it hit a new all-time high? I think another new, like it had one recently and it went again, just bumped up like yesterday or something. I don't know. Anyway, great investment. Even if it goes down, gold is still, I think, a good investment regardless. So check those guys out. They'll help you through the process. If you have any questions, they're good people to talk to about it. All right. So on to ISO 20022. It's basically a new global language for money messages. This gets confusing, so I'm going to be referring to my notes a lot because even I get my brain twisted up around it. But I'm trying to simplify it for you guys, okay? So it's banks, payment systems, and even crypto rails all talk to each other, right? They use messages. There is an old system that we have been using that's called Swift, Fedwire, etc. And it's very outdated, and it's slow, and it's becoming obsolete. This new system is called ISO 20022, and it replaces that with a modern, rich data standard, like going from a flip phone text message to a smartphone with, you know, the emojis and the audio thing that whatever it is. I don't use that, so I don't know what it's called, but you get the point, right? So from this article, I'm going to hop over. I forgot to show you guys this. This is the 9 billion stablecoins flood. But we're going to go to this article right. No, this one. This one. I had them all mixed up, so you guys got a sneak peek. Okay, so in November 2025, international wire payments processed via SWIFT will need to comply with the full and final set of ISO 20022 requirements, and Fedwire payments will need to conform to those requirements. What does this mean? Big banks are mandated to comply. All of them. All the big banks. Banks need rails to move money, rails being some kind of currency. Think like a water current, right? A body moving in a particular direction. You know what else is also compliant with ISO? Here's the sneak peek. These coins are compliant with the ISO standards. So basically how this works is you have to have some kind of cryptocurrency as a railway system because they're all built on blockchains, right? And it's a type of system that has to be used in order to transfer money abroad. All these banks are being forced to use. These cryptos are the most popular ones that are ISO. And here's the list. I'll just scroll down through it and I'll read you off what these are. Cardano, Stellar, XLM, IOTA, Quant, XRP, and Algorand. All of those cryptos are the top ones that are ISO compliant. So I think we will have to pass the Clarity Act before the November deadline because the banks aren't going to use a non-compliant bridge or railway system, and that automatically throws out the current monetary system that we have right now. So small banks will still be able to use that, or they'll still be allowed. Whether or not they do is up to them. And this is big banks. Think like JP Morgan, Citibank, Bank of America, all of that ones who are forced to use the new ISO 20022 standards. And we have to have clarity on these cryptos, which comes from the Clarity Act, by November. A lot of people are saying December or end of year. There was a representative, I can't remember his name, but he was talking about he would like to see the Clarity Act passed by the end of this year. I think it actually is in here. We hope that they will take prompt action and that this fall during the October and November timeframe. So there you go. He said October, November timeframe. I'd love to see the Clarity Act pass the Senate before the end of the year. So what's going to happen is we're going to have this go through, clarify these coins so that the ISO standard can be implemented properly by November. What this means for the markets is with the Fed rates being lowered now, we're going to see probably a lot of volatility in the markets for the next few weeks. I believe this is what I think is going to happen, that we are going to a drop around this month. We're going to take a pretty big hit around September 23rd. And if you guys remember, we did a whole video on this just a few weeks ago. We were talking about the September 23rd rapture, quote unquote. And I was using it as a metaphor for what's going to happen to the crypto world in general. And I think it's going to tank, and then it's going to rebound back up in the October timeframe. And then we're going to be moving quickly into a new system of currency. So looks like it's all lining up to me. I don't know. Tell me what you guys think in the comments. So I see a question here. Let me see real quick. I'm not sure I fully understand your question, JM. I'm sorry. I'll have to look into that. So let me get back to you on that one. But anyway, so that's what I got for you guys today. I think that we're living in an exciting time for our money specifically, and it's going to get kind of ugly, or at least expect it to. So that way you're prepared. You know what I mean? And just don't panic. It's all going to be good. So ride the wave out, and we'll see what happens, right? So anyway, I hope you guys are having a great day. We are going to do our usual live tomorrow around 2 o'clock, or well, at 2 o'clock. You know, we have a tendency to run late, but we're going to be talking about something fun. It's going to be probably the topic of Chat GPT and what it's hiding from us, and some forbidden knowledge things. So if you guys are interested in that topic at all, make sure to tune in tomorrow at 2 o'clock, and we will see you there.